Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
At the Team Automotive Group, we're offering you the Team Guarantee on new and used vehicles. Included with every new vehicle is a lifetime limited powertrain warranty. And now, get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get the Team Guarantee at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Welcome as we start today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours and your little slice of heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend a little time with you and yours a week ago. Yesterday, obviously, Memorial Day. Hopefully, you spent some portion of your day in remembrance of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy this day. It is something that is particularly poignant for people like myself who grew up in a military household. We understand the sacrifices, we understand all the things that military men and women give up in an effort to ensure the freedoms and liberties remain intact in this country. If you did not have the opportunity to reflect and or take part in some sort of commemorative activity, well, just keep in mind as Americans, because of the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy, it's something that, quite frankly, should not be confined to just one day of the year. If you missed out on it during the actual day itself, what better reason to rededicate yourself to make it a point whenever you encounter our men and women in military circles, in wearing military uniforms, what have you. Take a moment and thank them, because when all is said and done, had it not been for the sacrifices that these brave men and women made on our behalf, there is the distinct possibility all of us could be speaking German or Japanese this day. Just a little something to think about. In Louisiana news, shortly after we left you last week, our very own Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development announcing they've now whittled down that list of 30 potential sites for another bridge across the Mississippi River in the capital region. All three of these potential sites will cross the river between LA1 and LA30 in Iberville Parish. DOTD officials say input from the public was vital in their decision about these final three possibilities. Further studies will be ongoing to determine which plan ultimately they will use. If you're wondering, the three sites include Plan 1, crossing the river between LA1, just south of Plaquemine, near Old Evergreen Road, and LA30, just south of the East Baton Rouge Iberville Parish line, near Anytime Fitness. That's about 2 miles south of where Bluebonnet Boulevard connects with LA30. Plan 2 would cross the river between LA1 near the Shintech Main Access Road and LA30 just south of the EBR Iberville Parish line. Again, that's about 2 miles south of where Bluebonnet Boulevard connects with LA30. Plan number 3 would cross the river between LA1 near the Shintech Plan Main Access Road and LA30 at Gordon Simon LeBlanc Drive near the St. Gabriel Community Center. It is something that has been a long time coming, and as you guys and girls well know, the wheels of government sometimes turn ever so slowly. We are looking potentially at 7 to 10 years before this becomes a reality. Ultimately, there will be a combination of state and federal funding that will contribute to the cost, but state officials say they also plan to make it a toll bridge, meaning if you want to use it, you got to pay for it, pure and simple. It is something that I am sure is going to be a lot of discussion surrounding this, due in large part to the fact that it, and listen, I get it, y'all. I understand DOTD is attempting to use traffic that traditionally would run through Baton Rouge, take it out of Baton Rouge. The problem that I'm sure a lot of folks are going to have with it is that until it becomes a reality, and once it does become a reality, you will still have this ungodly amount of traffic in Baton Rouge proper. Now, in an ideal world, everyone coming down 10 would say, whoa, wait a minute, I don't want to go through Baton Rouge because I know what traffic is like there, so I'll go ahead, pay the toll, and go around Baton Rouge instead of having to drive through Baton Rouge. Whether or not that is a realistic possibility, I guess only time will tell. Personally, I would have rather seen it closer to Baton Rouge so that the eventuality doesn't factor that much into the total equation, meaning folks that are familiar with the area would be willing to pay a toll because it's still in the immediate vicinity. I still get to go where I want to go. I just get to do it faster. But when all is said and done, the fact of the matter is we need another way across the river in the capital region. And politics being what politics is and folks being what folks are, you will never please everybody. All you can hope to do is please a sizable majority and hopefully bring it in under cost. Only time will tell, and I'm chuckling to myself as I say that because in Louisiana, getting things done expeditiously and below cost is something that most of us are of the opinion will never happen. Now, that being said, I will be the first to acknowledge that I am a fan of Dr. Sean Wilson and the folks at DOTD, and I think his heart is in the right place as far as doing right by the citizens of our state, and more important, doing right by our tax dollars. Again, further studies will be conducted before all of this comes to fruition, and who knows, God willing, Marty, Alan, myself, will still be around when they finally cut the ribbon on that puppy and allow folks to have another way to get across the Mississippi River in the capital region. I'm hoping, but you know I'm not a betting man, so we'll keep an eye on it and see where it goes from here. Speaking of driving in Louisiana, a horrific incident last week as a gentleman working as a, what's the politically correct term these days, Marty? Sanitation engineer. We used to call him the garbage man. But, you know, with political correctness being what it is, I don't know if that's an appropriate term anymore. But gentleman on the back of a garbage collection truck, we'll say, was gravely injured when a woman behind the wheel was texting, did not notice that the garbage collection vehicle had stopped. And of course, as they always do, when the immediate area of the truck becomes full where they dump the physical trash, you pull the lever down, the big lip comes down and compacts everything in. Well, they're standing there doing that, and this woman texting and driving didn't notice, slammed into the back of the truck, pinning one of the workers between the truck and her vehicle, ultimately severing his leg. She is now facing multiple charges, and more emotionally damaging than the charges, she will now have to spend the rest of her life living with the fact that she cost this man his mobility, put him through God knows pain that most of us can never begin to imagine, and all because apparently it was more important to send a text while driving than to pay attention to what's happening on the road. I don't know, other than throwing the full weight of the law behind this particular situation, I don't know what else can be done. As a conservative, I'm one of those individuals that firmly believes in smaller government. And many people have said for years now, well, they need to develop a smartphone that will not work while moving. Anything over, I don't know, 10, 15 miles an hour, the phone won't work. I understand the sentiment in that argument, but I am one of those that's of the opinion, govern yourself, and we won't have to govern you. Meaning, if it is important to send that text, pull over, park somewhere, send the text, wait on the reply, go on your merry way. At the end of the day, this man was doing nothing more than trying to support himself and his family on his job, not doing anything wrong. And today, he's in the hospital minus a leg. And the alleged perpetrator of this crime will be shouldering a burden for the rest of her life, all over something as simple as sending a text. First break of today's show. It is Tuesday, and of course, coming up on the second segment, so that's right, get ready for another edition of Now That's Just Stupid. That's next when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda. every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent.
Depend on us for service, for selection, for price.
Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The Mazda CX-50. Confident on- and off-road performance and intelligently designed utility inside and out.
The all-new Mazda CX-50 has arrived and is on sale right now at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. It is the second segment of the Tuesday show, and if you're new to the show by chance, you may not be aware that in response to the ever-growing level of stupidity in this country, we've instituted a segment entitled, now that's just stupid. But you'll notice what we're talking about here is not regular STUPID. That would be, ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill stupidity. What we are talking about here is something that has elevated stupid to an entirely new level. So we've coined a new spelling, STOOPID, as in, now that's just stupid. We start with something that is as disgusting as it is stupid. In the wake of the horrific massacre of school children in Uvalde, Texas, you knew it was coming. You knew that there were going to be individuals out there that were going to try and politicize this for a particular agenda. Obviously, the first thing that would come to mind for most Americans would be the agenda of gun control. But today's society, being what today's society has become in America, you had to know that it wouldn't be long before somebody played the race card. And, of course, we weren't disappointed. Last Friday, University of Pennsylvania Religious Studies and Africana Studies Professor Anthea Butler, who, by the way, also is a contributor to MSLSD, put out a tweet that has since been roundly and soundly denounced. It read the following, quote, "So since no one else will ask, I will. Did those children die because most of them were Mexican American and the police didn't give a damn about a school with predominantly brown kids? I mean, because it's Texas and you think everyone who isn't white is illegal." Had this professor had any sense at all, she would have done just a smidgen of research. And she would have found out that the attacker in this case was himself a Latino. The city's police chief is of Latino descent. Several of the officers who responded to the scene were Latinos themselves. So let me get this straight. The chief of police, when sworn in, swore an oath to protect the citizenry and defend the Constitution. These Latino officers, when sworn in, took an oath to protect and serve and defend the Constitution. But according to this professor, they didn't want to do anything, weren't in a hurry to do anything because, after all, it's just brown kids at the school. I don't know which it is more of, disgusting or stupid, but it says a lot about an individual that in the immediate aftermath of all of this carnage, all of this death, all of this destruction, she would choose to play the race card. Now, listen, y'all, none of us are Pollyannas here. This ain't our first rodeo. And most reasonable people understand full well that in a nation of 330 plus million people, you are going to have some individuals in our society, in our country, that have warped, outdated, and quite frankly, disgusting attitudes regarding race. In an ideal world, that wouldn't happen. But as we all know, our world is not ideal. And the fact of the matter is, until this world ends, you will always have someone who will harbor racial animosity for whatever reason. You will always have someone that doesn't see race the way you do. But this is not one of those cases, y'all. And for this professor to make a claim like that is not only disgusting, it's just flat out stupid. Secondly, you are probably, if you talk to your fellow Americans, at some point going to hear people say, you know, I love my country, but I hate our government. If people are honest with you, you will hear that regularly. There are countless millions of Americans who love our country but hate our government. Many of those individuals feel that way because of government's penchant for wasting taxpayer dollars. Perfect example. President Donald J. Trump, when in office, started an aggressive wall building program on our southern border. Understanding our country literally is being invaded by individuals entering this country illegally. So, what did he do? Well, he's a problem solver. That's what he does. He secured the funding and the materials to finish the border wall. And, of course, along comes the Biden-Harris administration, and immediately, oh, stop that border crap, stop that border wall stuff. No, can't have that, that's racist, blah, 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 yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Did you know that since halting construction on the border wall, the materials to build the aforementioned wall have all been stockpiled at the border? I mean, if you know anything about construction, you bring in the material to the construction site, you put it there, and then you bring in the folks to do the actual construction. They take the materials and they build whatever it is you're going to build. In this case, a wall on our southern border. The Biden-Harris administration, since ending construction of the border wall, has been spending your tax dollars to the tune of $3 million a day to guard the material to build the wall on the border that they stopped. $3 million a day to guard materials that are not going to be used. Roughly, that's $150 million a month. In the meantime, think what could be done with $150 million a month in this country. How much baby formula could be secured? How much funding for rampant gun violence? How much money toward securing elementary and junior high schools and high schools in this country? $150 million a month. Forgive me, just occurred to me, 90 million a month. But the dollar figure pales in comparison to the mindset of, oh, well, it's just American taxpayer dollars. Not only is it fiscally irresponsible, you guessed it, it's just flat out stupid. Bottom of the hour break. Speaking of stupid, we'll talk about Cory Booker and his latest rant on the Texas shooting when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
At the Team Automotive Group, we're offering you the Team Guarantee on new and used vehicles. Included with every new vehicle is a lifetime limited powertrain warranty. And now, get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get the Team Guarantee at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Freej Jr., and I am a general dentist at Freej Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I don't know about your upbringing, your household perception, or your political affiliation. But if your upbringing and your life experience is anywhere near close to mine, one of the things that you find most despicable in life is a hypocrite. People that take every opportunity available to them to preach to you about one thing, when in actuality they are more than guilty of it themselves. Many of my fellow Americans have a particular disdain for hypocrisy when it involves individuals attempting to make you believe that they are speaking from a position of a moral authority. It's one thing for an individual to preach to you about whatever, and they are doing what they preach you should not do. But it's something else entirely when these individuals preach from an alleged position of moral authority and or outrage. It is saddening, disgusting, and very telling the number of people that have weighed in on that recent mass shooting at the Texas elementary school and attempting to use this for their own personal agenda. Now, let me say for the record right up front, I am in no way, shape, or form surprised by this person's take on this, because after all, he's a Democrat, so I get it. But it doesn't lessen the hypocrisy in any way, shape, or form, nor does it lessen the disgust of an individual preaching what this guy is preaching and being a Democrat. Cory Booker, Democrat, New Jersey. This Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press said that gun control will not be passed until voters love children more than guns. Quote, "Whatever we can get done, if it saves a life, it's worth doing." My colleagues were entering bipartisan talks. I fully support that, but under no illusion that things need to be done that the majority of Americans overwhelmingly support. We know, even though the CDC has been undermined by the gun lobby, where Senate Republicans won't allow basic scientific research on gun violence, we know that there are surely things we can do that will dramatically lower gun violence. So the question is, when will we do it? The problem is, and I return again and again to how change has been made in America when children died. For example, a bombing in Birmingham when 4 little girls died. The nation rallied and the movement continued until we demanded change. It was made when those people who did not make the change, civil rights movement, suffrage movement, paid at the polls. Until that happens, we're going to see at best incremental change. I'm sorry we're at a point where we have to mobilize a greater movement than just expressing regret and sorrow, until the redemptive power of love for all of our children is greater than the destructive power of the love of our guns and money and power, until that redemptive love of our children turns into action, then nothing is going to change. I don't know about you, but it's particularly galling when an individual, Cory Booker, will preach to me about the love of children when 20 million black children have been aborted Here's a guy whose party will fight to the bitter end to allow the practice of killing children in the womb. And you would dare preach to us about the sanctity of children's lives? Now listen, y'all, I get it. It's Cory Booker. Need I say any more? But what is most galling, aside from the fact that your party wholeheartedly supports abortion, what may be even more galling than that, well, second to that, forgive me, is the fact that you would say this publicly while piggybacking on something that has the entire nation mourning. If you truly, truly believed in his words, not mine, the redemptive power of love for all of our children, if you truly believed that, you wouldn't be a member of a party that is responsible for the deaths of millions upon millions upon millions of American babies. But this guy will preach to us and will stand there with moral outrage, will stand there with his feet firmly planted on the moral high ground. Maybe he thinks you're too stupid to think past the rhetoric. Maybe he's of the opinion that Americans, most of them, think with this and not with this. You know, there's a reason that God in his infinite wisdom gave us both a head and a heart. One you think with, the other you feel with. And when you get the two confused, inevitably, trouble will follow. It's also why God, being the infinite being that he is, gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Now, Democrats have probably never thought about this. They're too busy thinking that, you know, doesn't matter about your chromosomes, doesn't matter about your genitalia. You can be whatever you want to be. God giving us 2 ears and 1 mouth. A thinking person would say, well, maybe that means you need to listen twice as much as you talk. Of course, now, Democrats will also tell you that math is racist and there are no absolutes. I mean, you take the example 1 + 1 is 2. That's not necessarily true. Take a rooster and a hen. Come back the next day, there's a rooster, a hen, and a biddy. For y'all city folks, that's a baby chick. So in that case, 1 + 1 = 3. And these are the people that many of you vote for. Interesting. Final break of today's show. When we come back, I want to share something with you that is very telling particularly if you are concerned about America and where we're heading. But I got to get the final break of the show out of the way. We'll come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat, Tremonti's has seafood, Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters, huge wine and liquor selection, beer and all the spices you need, Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats, ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs, 20 flavors of sausage for the grill, daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. In my lifetime, understanding as a baby boomer, we have witnessed certain changes in our country. And it has led many of us, concerned Americans, to wonder, how much longer can this republic survive? Let me share something with you, if I may. Don't know if you've ever heard of this guy, a Scottish historian by the name of Lord Tytler, Tytler. According to this Scottish historian, the average age of the world's democracies is around 200 years. After 200 years, the nations collapse due to various economic and social policies. Lord Tytler identified the, quote, 8 stages of a democracy from beginning to end. The 8 stages, according to this Scottish historian, from beginning to end are as follows. From bondage to spiritual faith. Ring a bell? Americans under the thumb of the King and Queen of England decide we've had enough of this bondage, so we're striking out on our own. The only thing we have to hold on to is our faith. Second stage, from spiritual faith to great courage. Sound familiar? If we got to fight the most powerful army in the world to create our own country, we've got God on our side, we've got a lot of faith, bring it on. Third stage, from spiritual faith to great courage. Second, from courage to liberty. Sound familiar? We had the courage and faith in God to take on the most powerful army in the world and beat them, gaining our freedom. Following that, from liberty to abundance. We achieved our liberty, and now look at the abundance that God has blessed us with in this country. Additionally, making the sacrifice in times gone by, World War II in particular, the abundance that came about as a result of mobilizing our resources to fight the war. Then, pay attention, class, from abundance to complacency. Oh, look how great things are. We're growing by leaps and bounds. We've got security. We've got liberty. Look how good things are. And you know, I probably really don't need to keep an eye on things because, after all, look how great everything is. From complacency to apathy. From apathy to dependence. And finally, from dependence back to bondage. Again, the 8 steps, according to Lord Tytler, the Scottish historian. The 8 stages include from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from abundance to complacency, from complacency to apathy, from apathy to dependence, and finally, from dependence back to bondage. Out of the 8 steps, Marty, where do you think we are as America? Marty says we're at apathy. After apathy, dependence. From dependence back to bondage. I will leave to you to determine at what stage of the 8 stages we are in America. And experience has shown me that in this country, some of y'all need to be governed. Some of you, because of not paying attention in civics or American history. Some of you, because of refusing, for whatever reason, to take advantage of the resources available, paid for by many other people in this country, that many of you, my fellow Americans, either relish or cannot think past the idea of living under the government's thumb. But for the rest of us that truly understand the sacrifices made on our behalf, the rest of us who understand that this country was founded upon the principle of getting the government out of my way, out of my life, and letting me personally bust my hump to take care of me and mine. Those real Americans are worried this day about where we are. Lord Tytler said that the average age of a democracy is 200 years. We are now at 246, roughly, give or take. 1776 to 1976, 200 years. 1976 to 2022, 46 years. We are well past the 200-year mark. I will leave to you to decide what we need to do as a nation to continue down the path that this representative republic of ours has unveiled. But if this guy is anywhere near correct in the 8 stages of democracy, it is time for those of us that truly love this country to get off of our you-know-whats and get involved. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the one to have to explain to our grandkids how we let all of this come to an end on our watch. Speaking of ends, my time's up and I gotta go. But this day, maybe more so than any other in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. You know the good Lord loves you, and I hope you know that I do too. Good news is, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you soon. God bless.